WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often trying rare and exotic whiskeys. Not sure how rare and exotic this one is. BenRiach 16, the 16, Speyside Single Malt Scotch Whisky, 3 Cask Matured, Rachel Barrie Master Blender, 43%. Now on the back it says this weird thing, natural cask imparted color. Is it too difficult to write no coloring added? Is it too difficult to write natural color? Do we really have to go natural cask imparted color? It's almost as stupid as the tealing that says here. Oh, it doesn't even say that on this one. Where's my other tealing here? It says natural character. All right, so non-chilled filtered. Probably 43%. No mention anywhere about anything else here. Now this is Whiskybase number 222849. This was bottled in November of 2022, and it is 16 years of age. You may ask yourself, what are the three casks? So we have ex-bourbon, we have ex-sherry, and we have virgin oak. So I do bottle shares, and so I'm divided up into 70 CLs. So you can either buy a 10 CL, which looks like this here. You can buy a 5 CL, which looks like this here. And the last 5 CL belong to me. I forgot to do the video. I usually try to do the video at the beginning, but I did the bottle share, and this is what's left. My part. So this will be actually filled up into a tiny little bottle, and I actually sell the rest off as a half sample or whatever. I do so many videos with so many bottles that I will never, and I can never drink them all. That would kill me and many other people along with it. All right, so BenRiach, 16 years of age. Over here in Germany at the moment, between 70 and 80 euros. So let's just say it's 70 euros, okay? 43%, 70 euros, yay. Age statement, yay. Natural color, yay. Non-chilled filtered, well. 43%, well. But there's a lot of transparency going on here, and that's just fine. I'm going to call this my summer whiskey, all right? Because I'm going to pull out my winter whiskey. This is the same price, 70 euros over here in Europe at the moment. Sorry, over here in Germany at the moment. A 15-year-old Glenallachie, 46%. Look at that beautiful color. And it is natural color and non-chilled filtered. So a lot of Pedro Jimenez, a lot of Oloroso in here. A little bit of virgin oak maybe actually going on in here as well. And so this is very, very nice. This is what I would choose if I had 70 euros and I were going to buy an age-stated single malt whiskey. Oh, by the way, let's take a look at Germany at the moment. What could I buy for 75? Let's just go to 75 euros. And it has to be at least 15 years of age. All right, so first of all, I can get a Old Particular North British 18-year-old with 48.4% ABV for 72 euros. I can get an independently bottled cask Orkney 15-year-old for 60 euros. I can get the Old Pulteney 16-year-old for 75 euros. I can get this Singleton Dufftown 15-year-old for 43 euros. That's a bargain. If it tasted great, that'd be even more of a bargain. Von Fetterkern, a 16-year-old, third release from 2022 for 75 euros. I can get a Glenfiddich 15-year-old Solera here with 2 glasses for 50 euros. I can get the Glen Scotia 15-year-old for 70 euros. Ooh, that went up in price a lot. I can get the Speyburn 15-year-old for 60 euros. I can get the Glen Grant first edition 15-year-old with 50% ABV for 60 euros. I can get a White Heather. Now that is a blended Scotch, but still is from Billy Walker and is 15 years of age for 65 euros. I can get the Glencadam 15-year-old for 70 euros. Used to be much cheaper. I can get the Singleton of Dufftown 18-year-old for still under 70 euros. I can get from Glenmorangie the Cadboll Estate 15-year-old for 75 euros. The list goes on. I can get the Gandalvini Distillers Edition for 70 euros. I can get the Aberfeldy 15-year-old Napa Valley finish that I did a video on about 3-4 months ago for 65 euros. That was an excellent whiskey. That's worth its money. All right, Chivas Regal 18 blended Scotch, 62 euros. Wow, I remember it was 48. So we have Johnny Walker Ultimate 18-year-old for 65. We have the Jura 18-year-old for 72. From Flora and Fauna, we have the Dalvini 16 for 65. There's a BenRiach out there, 43%. Hopefully it'll go up to 46 soon. 15 years of age for 70 euros. We have the Glenlivet French Oak Reserve 15-year-old for 50 euros. We have the Nuck Do richly matured 15-year-old for 38.90 at the moment. Wow. From Flora and Fauna, the BenRiach 15-year-old we have for 65 euros. The Tomental 16-year-old for 63 euros. The Cardew 15 for 70 euros. The Glengoyne 15 for 75. I remember it used to be about 55, and that's not many years ago. The Tullibardine 15 for 50 euros still. They have not increased the price yet. Buy Tullibardine 15 while you can get it. So the Knockcandu 18-year-old for 60 euros. We can buy the Abelauer Double Cask 16 for 65 euros. I really like that as well. The Glenallachie 15 for 70 euros. The Glenmory 15 for 36.90. That's still the old price. Did not really like it, but if you want to buy a inexpensive 15-year-old single malt Scotch, I don't think you can get anything cheaper at the moment in Germany. So what else do we have here? The Aberfeldy 1662, Johnny Walker 15, blended malt Scotch for 45, used to be 29.90. I remember the price. Dalvini 15, still 36 euros. Thank you, Diageo. Let's see when the price goes up there. Glenfarclas 15, now 75 euros. I think I remember 39.90. Bowmore 15 for 72 euros. I remember 39.90 for that as well. And Lagavulin 16, it's now dropped from 85 down to 75 over here in Germany. Now, there's something we can do. I got all my prices from whisky.de at the moment. And what we can do is they used to send out, also still if you ask for it, you can put a little check mark on your next purchase there. They'll send you a catalog, a paper catalog of all their products still. And I know some people have the catalogs from the last 30 years. All right, so you go back to 1999 and you look at the prices. That will break your heart. Literally. You'll just, why didn't I just buy a whole pallet back then? Put it in my garage and I'll sell it all on eBay or on the auction site. I would have been financing my retirement plan with that. Even if you just go back 10 years ago, you're going to look at the prices, how they've doubled, and more times, even more than that, in that price. So we could talk about prices here for 1 second. Whiskey is, and I'm sorry to say this, even to Ralphie, a luxury goods. It's a luxury product. And accordingly, the prices are going to be luxurious. All right, so those good old days where normal people could go out and buy a bottle every month and just enjoy it and just say, okay, that didn't hurt, might be over. Or at least for good stuff. All right, so going back here to the nose. Now it's going, no more ranting and raving about prices. So the whole thing was in my German video, I actually said, oh, I know this, I know this, I know the GlenDronach 15, and it was like, what else do we have out there at that price range and that age? And it was like, wow, there's much more than I thought. Wow, excellent, excellent. This is the summer whiskey. I have vanilla, a little bit of citrus, a tiny little bit of hazelnut. I have a malty goodness. I have a tiny little bit of lactic acid, a little bit of that when a baby spits up. Sorry. Now, for those of us that you remember the good old days with BenRiach when Billy Walker was there, Billy Walker had to sell BenRiach, GlenDronach, and Glenglassaugh to Brown-Forman. His investors finally wanted to pay out, and he used his money to go buy the Glenallachie distillery here from Pernod Ricard. And so Pernod Ricard have been selling off distilleries here. We have the Glenallachie that they sold. We have the Tullamore that they sold. The amount of distilleries Pernod Ricard actually has decreased over the years, instead of other people actually building new ones and purchasing new ones and so on. I predict, WhiskyJason prediction forecast for 2030. Pernod Ricard by then will buy 2 new distilleries. And I'm going to actually say one of them is going to be, come back in 7 years from now. I'm going to say one of these is going to be Nicneen. I think Nicneen would fit beautifully into their portfolio. All right, let's see what happens here. Sorry, Annabelle. We'll see if she ever sells out. I hope not. But it's difficult when I say, here, I'm going to give you 200 million euros. Here you go for your distillery and your products and your stock. And it's difficult not to cash out. We'll see. All right, good. So, on the nose, very, very summer-like, very, very nice. This is heavy. This is dark European oak. This is sherry, raisins, figs, dates, milk chocolate. This is good. This is something I would drink in the winter and I would drink in the summer, but this is the typical winter dram. It's raining outside, there's wind, there's maybe a couple snowflakes, and this is what we want. It's 25 degrees outside in the evening, for you 80 degrees, and then you just sit out on your porch and you drink and you enjoy. The entire time, there is no official smoke in here, there's no peat. But I'm getting a tiny little microscopic dose of peat in here, as if they had not cleaned the machinery enough. All right, cheers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning, it's a little watery, the 43%. It needs a moment for that alcohol kick to reach my taste buds. There's not much more going on the palate as there is on the nose. So it says here, I'm just going to read. So on the nose, baked apple and creamy hazel nut malt with overtones of ginger, spiced apricot, and wild honey. Someone was paid a lot of money to find all those notes in there. All right, the palate, we have spiced stewed apples, stone fruits, mellow nutty oak with honeyed malt and candied peel. The whole time I'm trying to think, what type of peel? Is it the peel of the apple? Is it the peel of the orange? What type of peel? All right, so I'm not really sure about the word peel there, but that's all right. There is a certain creaminess in there. This is a solid sea whiskey. All right, I like. Nothing, there's a tiny little bit of that, still that baby puke moment going on in the background, but overall, it's 90% good. But there's no wow moment. There's no moment where I was like, hey, that's a 16-year-old whiskey. That's really old. It's like, oh, that's a 12-year-old whiskey, and it's okay. And that's my problem. That's why it's only a C. The value for money for a 16-year-old product that is no color added, that is 43%, also a C. All right, so if the value for money is your contributing factor for your purchasing decisions, and you want a 16-year-old whiskey, in your market, I don't know what it's going to cost, but there aren't that many options that are much, much cheaper. All right, so I do think you can get a Florian Fauna in Germany. As I said, 65 euros, 70 euros. You can get the Dalwhinnie 15-year-old. You can get the Dalyuen 16-year-old. You can get, what was the other one? I was two here. So we had the, so Tule Body in 15, buy it. The, here, the BenRiach 15. Okay, it's not even 16. All right, the Dalyuen 16, so that was the one I would buy. I would buy this. What else would I buy? The Glencadam 15, even though it's way too expensive now. Many people swear by the Speyburn 15. The old Glen Scotia 15, I would go for. Even Old Pulteney 16 is not bad, but I don't know if it's worth 75. So that's the question of the day. What product would you buy if you had 70 euros and you need an age-stated single malt whiskey? Now, to be very honest, if I had 70 euros and I'm going to go buy an age-stated whiskey, I'm going to buy the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof with 12 years of age. Okay, maybe it's going to be the 11-year with 6 months, or maybe it's even going to be, by the time it reaches Germany, the 13-year-old with 2 months. So I would buy the next Elijah Craig. That would be the thing I would buy. Or I would go over here and I would go buy, let's see if I can get this out without knocking anything off. At the moment, the Bushmill 16 I can get for 70 euros as well. That's also what I would buy. So I'd go outside of the realm of Scotch and get me something good. So, in comparison, the 15-year-old from Glenallachie. This, for me, is a B whiskey. And this, for me, for the value for money, is a C+. I think the 70 euros they're asking for this is, at this moment in time, 2023 in the summer, absolutely average. Not okay, average. And would I be willing to buy another bottle of this? Yes, I would. I love this product. I enjoy it. I share it. I encourage other people to try it. I think this is the pinnacle at the moment of Glenallachie's products. Now, other people are going to say, no, Jason, this is a 10-year-old cask strength. That's the pinnacle. Well, not everyone likes cask strength. So this is where I would pick people up and introduce them to the Glenallachie 10 cask strength. But I really, really like this. Roy from Aquavita has the Glenallachie 12, which is even better, more affordably priced, and that's also great. I think Glenallachie is doing a great job, just like 10 years ago, Glendronach was doing a great job. So let's see what Billy Walker gets his hands on next, if at all. All right, so a C, value for money, C here, B, value for money, C. All right. So, thank you very much. C+, sorry. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and telling others about this crazy guy over here in Europe, in Germany to be exact, tasting often rare and exotic whiskeys and almost always comparing them with something and giving you a little bit of an alternative here. Bye-bye.